Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Acting Savvy, and today it's going to be story time. Not sure how long my featured guest is going to stay on because she has a bit of bedhead in case you guys don't notice, and she is just a little free spirit, but I just wanted to tell you the time. I know, you're tired, my friend. Okay, you want to go back to sleep? Then we'll tell your story. So what happened my first day of, or actually before that, this video will be about my experience, my first day navigating as an actor, being told I can't have a dog as an actor, and also some of my systems I came up with in order to manage being able to work in multiple cities. So without further ado, my first day, when I just transferred in to do my major, I did my gen eds at a community college to save money, and then I made sure I had a super high GPA so I could get a scholarship to a four-year school. And then just for, certain reasons, I don't know if anything will come back, I'm just not going to say the name of the school, but they do offer musical theater in Chicago. So my first day there, I was very new because I was going to pursue more like a classical singing career path, but then I was told by many just about certain ageism things. They want you to be like 20 and already like traveling, doing all that stuff. So I was kind of persuaded to pursue musical theater instead. Like, I always did it as a kid, but then I never really pursued it until a lot later, seriously. So my first day, everyone was just doing their intro auditions, and I remember just sitting with my guidance counselor, and I was just so scared of everything. I was like, what if I never get a role for anything? What if this? And then I was just goofing around randomly, and I brought up having a dog. Let me tell you, this guidance counselor, quote unquote, told me that I could never have a dog and pursue acting, that I can't even have kids and pursue acting, or even have a boyfriend. And then at that point, I just remember just freaking out. Because also it's I remember still commuting into a school because I was still kind of watching over my mom a lot. So I would, commute to school every day and then make sure, she was all taken care of, morning and then after classes. So I was just kind of dumbfounded. I'm just I can't have a dog doing musical theater. And then he just pretty much highly advised I got rid of my dog. I remember that day I came home crying, and then I was to my mom, that I was told I can't have a dog anymore because if I want to pursue acting, I can't have a dog. And then I remember Coco, the dog who is earlier in this video, she just kept looking at me real weird all the time. She's like, no, she would not come by me. She kind of gave me the cold treatment for a little bit. She's like, bitch, you'd really give me up? But yeah, after a while I realized what he was telling me was kind of more kind of just BS, because I also had another friend that I made in school who had a similar situation, but it was something more. He commented on her appearance, and I remember just telling people who had higher positions later, I would randomly meet them for coffee in other cities, and they're like, what? This is going on? So I feel sometimes what I learned from that story is that sometimes people who haven't gotten as far as they would have liked to in their career will take certain jobs and kind of try to make others miserable. And they will, say a lot of things that aren't necessarily true, because I feel for anything, there's a way to work things out, because I know of married couples who travel and do theater and they are still together, and people who have different things going on in their lives, or people that have kids and still do acting or travel for different things. So I feel like whatever story you come across or someone tells you, take it with a grain of salt. Because at first I was so young and gullible and just looking for some type of reassurance. But now I kind of figured out a system. It's a little, crazy at first. It's a lot of work. So what I suggest doing in advance is, if you have a dog, cat, bird, whatever, is to have multiple or people lined up. What I did, it still takes a lot of time, you might get no's at first, because some people just want like clients that they can like walk their dog every day. They're not going to want to take someone with sporadic travels. But within time, you will find someone. And I suggest, if you have time, to go on WAG or Rover and interview these people a lot in person in advance before you start signing with agents in other cities. Because you just want to have a lineup. Or even if you have neighbors, I came up with a system where, like, at times if I have an emergency where I have to travel or do something, I will have like extra things that they love. Like, I have a neighbor where if she takes care of my dog, I have some extra like THC edibles or something I'll give her. Be like, hey, thank you so much. Here are these edibles I'm not going to have. Or if I have a neighbor that likes a certain wine, I'll have that ready, give it to her, just so you build up, neighbors' trust too. That's another system I use, but always having multiple plans and a to-go bag ready. So I feel like just that. I know it's a little bit more on the sporadic side, but that's how I worked it out. And especially if you have a dog and you do theater and you have to be away for like a month, make sure you have someone where you could have them watch your dog for that amount of time that you're going to be away. Or even like if you have to move to another city, I would suggest, just if you want, like, it depends on your preference. If you prefer to work in one place, you could always find a place where you could take your dog or cat or bird. Or if you do traveling theater, like on a cruise ship, that's some people's cup of tea. Just have someone that you're close with. And I know it'll take time, but it's all about getting out there, networking. Even if you go to certain events and you know of other actors that have dogs or cats, that's always good to do also, just getting out there and network. Or if you go into Facebook groups and be like, hey, I could watch your dog if I'm ever available and you have a gig to travel out for, if you do the same for me. So I feel like there's many options that you could do. But I feel like a big takeaway from this video is, you could have a dog, you could have a cat, you could have a bird, you could have a normal life and still be an actor. I feel like it's just such a huge misconception. It's almost an unhealthy misconception that people have, or certain people have, that you have to totally give up your whole life in order to pursue the arts, and you have to be miserable. You can't go out with your friends. You can't do anything. You just have to do this. So yeah, definitely have a life, because especially there's going to be times in life where you're not going to be working. You're going to be doing other jobs. You're going to definitely, like, other events in your life are going to happen if you have family, if you have other things going on. So yeah, I still look back and I can't believe how upset I got over that situation when I was told I couldn't have a dog anymore. But there's a lot of people out there who are gonna tell you different things just so they could get under your skin, because they didn't get to where they wanted to be in life. And it's not only for acting, I know I'm going on a little rant here, but for everything you do, I feel like there's going to be someone with some sort of comment. And it's all based on how you take their comments. You'd always choose to either take it to heart or tell them to go take a hike. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And below I'm gonna put like some different ideas and links to WAG and Rover and some other pet care services. So thank you guys and have a wonderful day.